Welcome back. I'm Shireen with Olive Street Designs, and I have been tackling a huge project, all 7 pieces. They arrived, and I already had, you can see my garage is already full of furniture, but I had to make room for all of these pieces. There's 7 of them, and then the hope chest started it all. This poor hope chest was so damaged. I'm not quite sure how that happened. I've had a lot of followers comment on these videos as I've been posting about them, saying that maybe it was locked and nobody had a key and someone kicked it in. And I could see that because it does look like it fell from the outside to the inside that it pushed in. But this poor thing, and honestly, the client got this from her dad, and her whole feeling was, I just want to be able to save it. I mean, they were ready to throw it out. So she said, if you can save it and make it match the other pieces, she'll be so happy because she'll be able to keep it. So I know that people were saying, I had quite a few comments about, you should have restored it, but that's not really what she was looking for. So I started in with trying to see if I could even save it. I had to do a bunch of adjustments. Thankfully, they kept that chunk of wood that came out of there. So I did a bunch of adjustments to get it so that it would lay up flat against that area. And I'm putting a bunch of wood glue in. Wood glue is your friend. And then every clamp I owned went on this project. And since then, I actually have purchased like 10 more clamps because I'm like, I don't even feel like I had enough, although that was quite a lot. I'm drilling some holes so that I can sink some dowels down in there just to join those 2 sections together a little bit better. I just threw everything at this because it's not only just coming together, I have to make it functional and not something that's going to go home and fall apart again. And it's pretty well secured. Looks like it's gonna hang in there okay. And then I decided, why not add some brad nails too? Because, yeah, why not? This actually, I felt like just held those pieces together a little bit better in the areas where the dowels were missing. This tray had fallen off over time and was totally bent, but I was able to save that. This piece is very unique, and I decided to spend the time getting the nails out and fixing it so that I could put it back in its place, because it really does serve a purpose here. And once I get these nails out, you'll see why this little piece was important. And again, so thankful to these clients that they saved all these pieces. This piece comes out of the top, and it's what holds the latch, or where the latch secures in the place there. So I was super happy. I got that glued, more brad nails. This one just really used all of my techniques for trying to fix anything, and this is the big test. It lines up. Now the inside's not pretty yet. I'm going to sand all that down. We just had all kinds of glue, but wow. I mean, I'm sitting here looking at this going, okay, I think this is going to work. And since I know that this is getting painted, we're going to go right in with some Bondo. And, you know, if you were going to try to restore a piece like this, the best thing might have been just to put a new piece of veneer on the front. But I had Bondoed all over the place on this because there was missing veneer everywhere. This finish on top was absolutely failing as well, so I had to remove all of it. Even though I'm painting, I couldn't just do a quick scuff sand. That finish would never have been smooth. I sanded all that excess glue inside, and now I'm smoothing everything down here that I've Bondoed. And hey, we're making progress, even though it's looking kind of ugly right now. This is really coming along. Now, this type of chest is notorious for being a bleeder, which means the tannins are going to seep through no matter how many layers of primer I used. So I sealed it in with shellac first. And then this is my traditional primer. And it's looking beautiful. Nice and smooth. And here we go with our paint color, a beautiful creamy white. It looks very stark white against my gray primer, but it actually is a creamy white. So I'm just getting everything reassembled, addressing the hardware, and we're off to the long dresser. This long dresser, now none of these match. I mean, obviously the Hope chest doesn't match any of these. They're all from like the late 50s, but I'm going to strip these down and we're going to make all the pieces hopefully coordinate in the end. You'll have to let me know when we do the full reveal. But the long dresser is beautiful. These are Drexel pieces. The finish came off pretty well. In some areas I used a little lacquer thinner to get it off. Just scuff sanding everything. And off to hand sanding. So I do as much as I can do with my electric sanders, because of course it saves time. And then I almost always have to get in here and do some hand sanding, especially with French Provincial. But wow, this is looking beautiful. I'm going to apply some pre-stain conditioner because this really helps the stain go on nice and even. Now this stain is one that the client chose based on another piece that I had recently finished, and it just wasn't quite the right color. So I put a gel stain on top of it, and now I'm sealing all the oil-based products in. I let that sit and I'm sanding it down just so that I can start going in with layers and layers of top coat. That one is now going to be beautiful and durable and the color that my client's hoping for. I do multiple coats of top coat because I really want these to last. Now that the top is finished, I'm going to start taking all the hardware off and getting this cleaned up. These screws are evil. They're evil. If you know, you know. But getting everything cleaned up, scuff sanded. I think the SurfPrep sander was made for French Provincial with all these curves. I had a couple of areas that looked like they probably got damaged when they were being delivered or just on the trailer. So I had to do a couple of repairs to things that got, it was like a mesh bottom to that trailer, so it just kind of tore things up. Taping off those dovetails, into the tent we go. This is my primer coat. And this little trick for wide drawer tops is amazing. Sanding everything in between coats, and here goes my paint. Of course, the same creamy white color because we are coordinating all these pieces together. I did 2 coats, and this is my top coat. Got to do the lean on the white paint so you can see the reflection. Time for the reveal. I just love a stark contrast. There was a little overspray on that drawer that I cleaned up with alcohol. Top coat on the tops of the drawers. Because I paint with drawers and I get a lot of questions about top coat on the tops of the drawers, so I decided to show it. Put the hardware back on. I'm conditioning the drawers to make those shine again, and we're off to nightstands. These beauties actually do match the dresser. They are the only 2 pieces that coordinate. So the nightstands and that one dresser match, everything else is mismatched. Same process here. I love the stripper on. This was the right finish for stripper. Look at it just dissolve. Sometimes you put stripper on and you're like, eh. Other times you put it on and you're like, that was amazing. I love it when it works like that. With the right finish with the right chemical, and it just breaks it down. So there we are, ready to sand. And I just have to take everything down to get a really clean finish. Again, with the contour sanding blocks, these are just a game changer, and they will save your elbow grease and hands. They certainly do. And then back in with some sanding to get everything smooth again after all the hand sanding. Same pre-stain conditioner. Just going through the same process. Now, when I get to the other pieces, the wood on tops of the other piece is different. So this one, thankfully, I can do the same process. That first stain is called Briar Smoke. It's just a really smoky brown and beautiful, but it just wasn't quite the right tone. And then top coat. Again, I did multiple layers of top coat. And then addressing the rest of the piece. Now, I get a lot of questions about why do I stain first and then paint instead of painting and then staining? And of course, I've done it both ways. I have. And I have found that I end up getting stain on my paint, and then I have to go back in the tent and repaint all of that, where if I do it in this direction, if I accidentally got overspray on my stain, it's a little easier to fix. Okay, I had a little bleed through there. That's just what I was showing. So I did seal that with some shellac spray. And I did multiple coats of white and then top coat. Same thing for the big reveal. Condition the drawers. They're beautiful, and we are off now to the tall dresser. Again, still a Drexel piece, but this one is completely different. It does not match, and it's a different type of wood. That is wax. I'm not sure how that happened, but something was dripping, I think, and it splashed up on there, or they spilled wax, and I don't know, but have to address it. So here we are with stripper again, and you're like, oh, this is going to be like the other pieces. No, actually it's not. This is more of a blonde finish, and there was a time when they were doing blonde finishes, they would put paint underneath it, and it just makes a mess. What a mess this was. So I probably could have done a whole nother layer of stripper, but I decided to do some lacquer thinner. That didn't work great. This is not for lacquer. So I went in with the carbide scraper and started scraping the rest of that off. And it just got down to more sanding. So this one was a little more laborious than the others just because I couldn't get most of that finish off. I really had to spend a lot more time sanding. But here we are, down to bare wood. And this wood is different. Remember when I was putting the pre-stain on the other pieces, how it was coming up really red? You can see the nightstands sitting in the back, how red they are, because they're not completely done yet in this shot. So I'm like, oh no, these are not going to match. But I did the same process. I did the same stain. And the gel stain goes on top, and I think that's really what brought it all together, was using the gel stain as that last layer. Okay, same process here with the primer, then the paint. More top coat from the lean. You got to see the reflection on where your passes are going, so you make sure you cover everything evenly. And I have to lean when I do white. The original hardware going back on, the client loved the patina. Here we go with the bed frame. Now you can see this is not Drexel, this is not vintage, nor is it French Provincial. But we're gonna make it work because I think we can tie it all in together. So I got everything cleaned and scuff sanded, and this is primer. And while I'm doing the bed, I decided to tackle the mirror. So the bed's in the tent, and while that's sitting, because I can only do one side at a time, I decided to go ahead with the mirror, getting everything masked off, a scuff sand, and I've got everything on wheels. So out the bed went and in the mirror came. Same process here with primer. I have a huge tent, but sometimes I'm doing so many pieces that I have to just be rolling things in and out. You'll see the mirror is all done behind me. And now I'm flipping these over. This is the next day. I let those sit a long time before I flip them back over on a fresh finish. Same process there with primer, paint, a few little repairs. And after I got the first coat of paint on, I'm like, that seam is horrible. And you know what? These have seams upon seams upon seams. So I had to caulk for a very long time. But you can use painter's caulk here. It's the same thing that you would do on all of your trim around windows and doors. Works very well in this application. And I got everything painted, and it's time to stage. So you're gonna watch a little behind the scenes. I got everything in one spot, and I'm gonna take it all apart again. These pieces are big and heavy, so when I have to move them, I gotta take all the drawers out, put them back on dollies, move it around, take pictures. I think it's fun to see a little behind the scenes action of what really happens here with the lighting and everything, because all you really see at the end usually is this quick little shot. And I'm gonna show you how these all came together. I'm wrapping them up because they're gonna get delivered tomorrow. Hope chest, long dresser, nightstands, tall dresser, bed, and there they are, the before and the after. I think this whole set just totally came together. What do you think? Do these look like a set now? And if you're thinking about getting into refinishing, be sure to pick up some of my ebooks. I've got a beginner's guide, a stripping furniture guide. I've got one that's about where do you find your furniture, and then tan washing. So if you want to pick those up, head to olivestreetdesigns.com. Get yours today.